Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And all month long, every Tuesday in October, I am talking about a brand new release. So this week, I am going to look at last week's release of Talk to Me on 4K, the 2023 horror film, and I cannot wait to talk about this one. Before we get into this, though, if you have a quick second, go ahead and hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into my 4K review of Talk to Me. Before we get into my thoughts on the film itself, let's do a quick unboxing and talk through the packaging really fast. Not too much to talk about here, but you do have the standard 4K slipcover edition, and I'll make note there is an Amazon exclusive, which does have different cover art with it. I believe it's just our main character, Mia, on the front there. But yeah, that's what the outside looks like, and then we'll open it up and you have the Blu-ray disc and the 4K disc. This does come with a digital copy as well, so that's available if you're interested. So yeah, not a whole lot going on here, but I do like that it has a slipcover with it, so at least there's that. But A24 goes kind of more standard on these releases, and this one follows suit. Alright, so let's move over to my thoughts on Talk to Me. So I didn't realize it, but this is actually directed by the Filippo brothers, who run the Raka Raka YouTube channel. Now, I'll be honest, I don't watch that. I've never heard of it until I was watching the special features on this disc, but they have a huge following, like 6.5 million subscribers. So very big YouTubers, and this is actually their feature film directorial debut, which is fascinating to me because I am very intrigued to see what they do next. They have a very bright future ahead of them, just to give kind of some spoilers to my thoughts on the film. But yeah, we are following in this film Maya, our main character. She's dealing with the loss of her mother, who died 2 years previously. She is hanging out with Jade and Riley. Jade is her age. Riley is the younger brother, maybe a few years younger, 4 or 5 years younger, whatever it is. And they end up going to a party one night. And turns out there's this hand at the party, which if you hold on to the hand, like you're shaking hands with it, and you say, "Talk to me," the ghost or a spirit will appear in front of the individual. And then they say, "I let you in," and that individual possesses them. They have 90 seconds to let go of the hand, like they'll, the friends around them will force the hand off and then blow out a candle, and that is supposed to close the gate so that the spirit cannot, interact with the world anymore. Well, this ends up like, they kind of treat it like a drug in the movie. And so they all get together. It's this party. And I'll say like the inciting incident, I guess, is when the younger brother, Riley, does this, and he's only supposed to be for 50 seconds, but things don't quite go as planned, and he starts basically just destroying himself, trying to commit suicide. And that's where things kind of take a big turn and get really dark. The film itself opens with a very brutal moment. There's a stabbing, and it's just insane. But then it's kind of like free-flowing a little bit. It feels a little lighter as you're going on. You have these spirits, of course, which are creepy, but then that inciting incident happens, and the brutality is insane. I thought it was done so well. It really marks a turning point in the film, and I loved that aspect of it, how it's about to go somewhere else, and they really go for it. So I loved how this thing started, and then you hit that inciting incident, and then how it just takes off from there. I thought was done so well. Sophia Wilde plays Maya, and I think she is incredible in this film. She has such a bright future ahead of her. I cannot wait to see what else she's able to do, but she's brilliant in this. Everything from like her being possessed with the Talk to Me hand, all the way through her kind of degradation, I guess, as the film goes on. It is just awesome. I think she does such a beautiful job with this film. And then the supporting characters are great as well. Riley, the younger brother, he's excellent. He doesn't have as much to do as the other characters, as you would realize as you watch the film, but Jade, her best friend, kind of more the grounded one in the group. I think she does a great job as kind of being like the opposite of Maya. I thought that was done really well. There's like a handful of main characters here, and I think the acting in this is just spot on. It is exactly what it needs to be. They all do great with the roles that they're tasked with. And so because of that, it just elevates the film up a whole nother level and makes it feel more genuine, makes it feel more real. I didn't realize, but this film actually takes place in Australia. It's an Australian film. And so some of the dialogue, I'll admit I lost maybe a little bit of it because of like the slang that was being used. Like I just didn't understand what they were saying at points, but that is so minor that it didn't take away from it at all. But it also helps make it feel more authentic. And so I think it's really great that they did that, even if, an ignorant American like me doesn't really know everything that they're saying. It's very few lines, and I think it just helps add to the authenticity of the entire thing. But the acting in this was just fantastic. It was stellar. On the surface, Talk to Me might feel a little bit more basic or kind of a generic haunting or possession film, but it is anything but. The Philippou brothers managed to take that idea of a possession movie, turn it on its head a little bit, add in a ton of subtext of loss, grieving, loneliness, how you're handling family, all these different aspects that they were able to throw in there that makes this feel like a little bit more of an elevated horror film. And I laugh saying that because I was just watching Scream 5 yesterday, and at the opening sequence, they're talking about how The Babadook is elevated horror. And so that just makes me think of that. It really does feel like there's something more going on here than what you're watching on the surface. And I love that about it because it just adds the depth to it. You're going to get something probably on repeat viewings of this. Now, I've watched this one time, but I imagine the next time I watch it, I'll probably pick up something that I missed the first time around just because there are those different layers and different elements to the film. So I thought that it's just, the script is really well done for directors and writers that, are doing this for the first time. It is super impressive. There's very clearly a bright future ahead, and I cannot wait to see what else they do. If they want to do a Talk to Me sequel, I will absolutely watch it because the way they set this up, like this could just continue on and on. They actually talk about Talk to Me 5 in space, how spooky that one is, like joking how they already have 8 of these written. But like they could absolutely make this a franchise. There's so many different elements to the hand itself, so many different things written on it. Where did the hand come from? You can have a prequel, an origin story. There's all these different things that you can do with this. It really feels like a movie that has legs to it that can really build and grow in future installments. Talk to Me is just a creepy film. Not only is it super brutal at points, and the special effects in it are amazing. They are so great looking. It just makes you cringe. I was literally sitting here with my hands over my mouth and my mouth agape for moments in this film that I didn't see coming because it went places I just wasn't expecting. And it really goes for, I think I said that already, but they really just go with what they're trying to do here. And the creativity and like just the freedom that this film felt like it had is really apparent as you're watching it. So I loved this. I thought it was way better than I had really expected. My buddy did recommend it to me. He said it'd probably be something I enjoy, and man, was he right. This is right up my alley. I get so creeped out by like paranormal or haunting films like this, and this one does it so well. It feels unique and different, and is super brutal and bloody at the same time. Like I love this. This was a great film. So I'm going in circles now, so I'll leave it there, but I absolutely recommend Talk to Me. One of my probably my favorite horror film of 2023 so far that I've seen. Scream 6 is right up there as well. I love that one, but man, I loved Talk to Me. I cannot wait to revisit this one again down the line. So I'm going to give Talk to Me from 2023, 4.5 out of 5 stars. So let's talk about the 4K disc itself in terms of the audio-visual presentation. So this does have a Dolby Atmos audio track, and this thing was rocking my house. It sounded so good. Now, to be fair, I have a Atmos soundbar setup, so catching the heights isn't as easy as someone with a real, genuine Atmos setup. So I didn't notice the heights as much in this track, but it did really rumble quite a bit when it really needed to. And so I really liked that aspect of it. The creepy moments were made creepier thanks to the sound design on this. So I think the audio track on this was great. I had no issues with that at all. And then in terms of the video side of the disc, there is a Dolby Vision color grading, and this thing looked fantastic. I had no issues losing anything in the picture. The dark scenes looked appropriately dark. There's a moment in a room where there might be something in a corner, and that just looked, I thought, great. I was like, is there something there? I think there is, but you can't make it out. And then it's like, it's done so well. So I think the AV side of this disc, really, I couldn't have asked for more. You have that Dolby Vision color grading, which I think looks awesome. The colors pop a little bit more, and those blacks are just blacker. And so I loved that. And then on the audio side, it was rumbling my house. My wife was complaining that it was loud, but it was awesome. So I thought the AV presentation on this disc was top notch. Finally, on the special features front, you don't have a ton, but you do get something, which is nice to see. There is about 6.5 minutes worth of deleted scenes. Some of these are full-on deleted. Some of these are extended scenes. I thought the ones that were most interesting were the extended scenes. A couple of moments between like father-daughter and daughter-mother moments that I thought were pretty interesting to see, like how they would have been if it weren't cut. And then you also have a behind the scenes featurette that's about 13-ish minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And that was as typical a behind the scenes featurette as you can imagine. Just the actors praising the directors and how they allowed them to be creative and free flowing with their choices. That's exactly what you always expect from something like this. So it's good, it's fine, nothing revelatory there. And then finally, there is a audio commentary track, and this one does have the Filippo brothers on it. And this one, they sound identical. So it's very hard to distinguish between the two as they're talking, because I believe they're twins. If they're not, they look alike and they sound absolutely the same. So keep that in mind. I didn't watch the whole audio track, so obviously, like I always say, I'm not an audio track guy, but it's there if you want to hear it. They are extremely lively. They say at the beginning that they are like jet lagged, but you would never tell it because they are loud and lively. So keep that in mind as you're going into the audio commentary track. But yeah, so, you know, it's not the most audio or the most special features ever, but at least there's something on this disc, which nowadays is, you know, pretty, I'm just happy to see that. So yeah, Talk to Me does have about 3 special features. And from what I could tell on the audio commentary, if you like the brothers, you'll probably enjoy that. And then the other 2 I thought were pretty worthwhile as well. So Talk to Me is a release that I thoroughly enjoyed. This one just ticks a lot of the boxes I love in the horror genre. It's creepy, it's effective, it's disturbing at points, it's brutal at other points. And so because of that, I just had a really great time with this. It was a lot better than I had any expectation of. And so I loved Talk to Me. The movie itself is absolutely worth watching. On the disc itself, the AV side is fantastic. It is as good as you could hope for. Sounds great. Oh, I didn't even talk about like the cinematography in this. Some of it is absolutely beautiful. There is a shot at the end that is just like stuck in my head that I can't forget. I love it. So the cinematography looks great, and it's made even better with that Dolby Vision color grading, which looks phenomenal. So the AV side is excellent. The special features are there and they're good. The only thing you could really improve on this from A24 would be the special features, which I will also mention. The Amazon exclusive does have a Q&A exclusive special feature that's on a separate Blu-ray disc. So if you want to spend the extra money, you can go that route and get a little bit more in terms of the special features. But either way, this is a great release from A24. So I am going to give the A24 release of Talk to Me from 2023 4 out of 5 stars. All right, so those were my thoughts on Talk to Me. I loved this one, and I would love to hear from you guys. Did you like this movie as much as I did? Am I overselling it a little? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And did you even pick it up? Let me know if you went the Amazon route or the standard 4K route. Let me know what your thoughts are on this and anything else down in the comments below. Next week, I'm not entirely sure what I'm reviewing yet, but it's going to be a new release that came out today. So definitely check back next Tuesday for another review. But I actually, you know what? I think it's going to be the Boogyeman now that I say that, because I'm really looking forward to checking that one out. That is a Blu-ray only, no 4K, but either way, check back next week for my thoughts on the Boogyeman. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. If you enjoyed this one, go ahead and hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.